Boop, boop. Okay. Wow, okay. Cool. I need to, let me just test the chat. Oh, that's in all caps. Cool, okay. I just need to share out that I'm streaming, and then we can get started. Okay. By the way, sorry for a lack of music. I have spent all morning trying to figure out how to get music to work on this, and it just has not worked. So, no music, I guess. It's a little annoying, but I'll just be talking, and you'll just have to put up with only hearing me. Sorry. Cool. Well, let me just make Crit a little smaller so I can also see the chat. There we go. Let's make sure that didn't fuck up the stream too much. Oh, actually, that's perfect. And I'll just put the chat here on the stream. Okay, that works good. Okay. Going to Krita, and oh, wait. Uh-oh. Huh. Okay, well maybe... Oh no. Sorry, this is my first time streaming. Well, it's not, because I did a test stream on Twitch, but this is my first time streaming on YouTube, and so there's a few things I need to fix on OBS. Seems like... Alright, can I put you here? There we go. Hello, my one viewer. I don't know who that is, but yeah, feel free to ask me anything in the chat and I will answer. And we're just going to be drawing. Let me save this that I was working on as warpring.crawl. I could probably add a little more to this, actually. Why not? Why not? So yeah, this is a warp ring. In Starburn, they're like jump gates, you know, like hyperspace gates. Except hyperspace doesn't exist because this is real life. We don't have hyperspace in real life. So instead, they just warp space-time, which is arguably maybe more far-fetched than going into like a higher dimension. But it's fine. It's fine. I have, there are some weird things about how the gates work. For one thing, they're one way, which doesn't actually make a lot of sense. You'd think, because they're warping space-time. So you'd think that they would actually be two-way, but they're not, because I think it's more fun if they're one-way. It's literally just because I arbitrarily decided that, because I think it creates a sort of, what's the word? Asymmetrical, oh, that ship looks terrible. It sort of creates an asymmetrical tactical thing where you have some people are able to use the gates and will use them. You know, there's not much more to it than that. Some people can jump in, but you can't jump out. So there's multiple implications of that. For one thing, sorry, I'm just adjusting the stream so the chat's a little more visible. Why is it stuck like that? Wait, what? If I do that, oh, that's so weird. Okay, well, oh dang, wait. If I tab out of OBS, it doesn't show it to me anymore. Uh-oh, how am I supposed to keep track of chat? Well, maybe if I do that. Oh, okay, that's perfect. Oh, wait, no, it's not. Dang it. Sorry, folks, technical difficulties. This stream, so the last stream I said I'd release it to YouTube, and then I didn't because I think it was an embarrassing stream. I didn't like it. This stream I will drop on YouTube. So, hello YouTube people. Yeah, okay. I need to figure this out. Is there a way to pin this tab? Pin it. Can I? Hello? Dang, I know exactly how to do all this on my desktop, but I'm not on my desktop. So that's annoying. Huh. Okay, maybe, you know what? I'm just going to take this chat out of the stream, and I'm just going to show Krita. And you're just going to have to settle for that. Sorry. Okay. Cool. Eventually, I will figure out how to do like a little VTuber or whatever on here so that it's not just me just showing chat and nothing else, or showing Krita and nothing else. But until that day comes, that this will be what I do. Right, let me turn that off. Actually, let's keep that on. Let's turn that off. No, actually, dang it. I guess I should just do it in the color of whatever it's going to be. So maybe we have like a little 34 by 34. Oh, it's 34 by 33, but whatever. Have a little thruster here. And we just fill in those gaps. Oh wait, this didn't solve a problem. Wait, this didn't solve my problem. Oh, and yes it did. Okay, we're good. Never mind. I was like, now I can't see chat, but I can see chat. Let's actually figure this out a little bit more. Let me make Krita even smaller. No, I actually don't like that. Well, let's make Krita bigger again. Sorry, I'm figuring everything out. I'll have it better next time. Ooh, that was not what I wanted to do. No, that's too dark. Actually, it would be very light, wouldn't it? Because it's getting illuminated by the thruster. Whoop. Keep doing that. So, yeah. What was I saying? Saying something about something. Very, very helpful and descriptive. I was saying that wait, that's actually pretty good. If I just make this smaller. And then make it even smaller and just concentrate it. And then we do something a little yellower. And something like bright yellow, maybe bright white even. There we go, that looks kind of like a, you can't actually really tell it apart from the rest of the scene, honestly, but it's supposed to look like a thruster going away, as if something is transiting through the warp ring. In any case, what was I saying? I was saying that, let's save this. I don't know. I don't know what I was saying. I guess that this is all scuffed. But we're going to make a new document. And we are going to, oh yes, so I wanted to talk a bit about mages. And we'll just make that big and totally off center and awful. All right, we'll put it at the top. Mages. So mages are in a lot of fantasy settings, and you might know that Starburn is a fantasy setting. There is magic. I am coming out with a video detailing that magic. But while I was making that video, one thing that came to me, one thing that I was thinking about, was mages. And I was thinking, well, maybe... So one of the first things I realized was that I don't know what mages would actually do in this setting, because the mana system, which is the magic system, doesn't really lend itself to spell casting. Like you don't cast spells in the system in the traditional sense. So it didn't really work with mages. But then you could still have mages that are like alchemists. But then, so let me go back into Krita and I will. My tablet isn't working. Oh, there we go. Okay, mages. So number one, I don't know why I'm using the airbrush for this. This is ridiculous. Number one, spellcasting doesn't really exist. By the way, sorry if you can hear background noise. I'm in a public space. I'm in an office in a public space, but it's still a public space. And people are loud here, even though they're not supposed to be. So that's a little annoying. Last time I streamed, I just got my roommate to leave my room. I actually just asked her to be quiet. And then she was like, oh, I'll leave. And I was like, you really don't have to. And she's like, I'm going to leave. And I was like, okay. Spellcasting doesn't work. Number two, we can't, so what we could have is some sort of an alchemist, right? That's the equivalent of a mage, is an alchemist. However, the problem with that is that in this setting, I really wanted magic to be industrial. So what does that mean? That means a couple things. It means that magic is first and foremost, and this is really important, manipulated by groups rather than individuals. So you might have, so you get, I haven't released the video on mana yet, so you don't actually know this, but mana is like a resource. It's like you mine it in the earth, and just like any other resource, number one, it's finite. And mana is particularly finite because we don't actually know where it comes from. It just is in certain planets, and they haven't really figured out what makes those planets have mana. But also, it needs to be dug up, it needs to be refined, it needs to be put to use, it needs to be packaged and sent out across the galaxy. And none of this happens by individuals. This isn't one person doing that. And if it were, that would be really impressive. And so if I was to have mages, that probably would be what they would be, is some sort of just hyper-industrial person who was somehow able to manufacture, to refine, manufacture, mine all this mana. And I have an idea related to that. I have an idea for people who are sort of like mages. They're able to channel mana, but only in specific places, only in places that already have mana. They're just connected to it. They're modified in some way, and so they can manipulate mana. And this works as a mage, but again, it's very situational. It depends on where they are and how much mana is there. So if you have one of these people, they can't necessarily just cast spells whenever. And that's why I'm saying there is no mages. Because even though there are these mage-like beings, their magic is situational, and it's dependent on other factors. So ultimately, it's not, oh, I'm a wizard, I can cast a fireball. It's more, I'm more of like a shaman of nature, and I can go down to these planets that have mana, which, by the way, mana has not been found anywhere except planets. It hasn't been found in asteroid belts. It hasn't been found in stars. There are theories that it's in stars, but they don't know for sure because, going into a star is a little difficult. But overall, mana is not, it doesn't lend itself to the idea of a mage. Now, what it does lend itself to an idea of, and this is what made me release the Shipmine video, was, one thing I was thinking of when I was coming up with ideas for mages, and I have a whole screen recording of it actually, was like, here, actually, let me open the file. Give me just a second to find it. It's not mana applications, right? No, it's not. Mana thumbnail looks good, but it's not what I'm looking for. Is it mech? It is mech. So this is something that I was working on. You can see I was brainstorming about mages, and I came up with like, what can they actually do? Like, what separates? So this is another thing. Mages, I couldn't think of anything that a mage could do that like a vehicle could not, or a specifically built structure could not. And those things lend themselves much better to the idea of an industrial system. So that's part of the reason I scrapped the whole mage idea. But one thing I was coming up with the idea of is this idea of people like strapped into mechs and ships and things like this, and that would be the equivalent of a mage, but it's not really a mage, right? Because what I was thinking is like you think of a fire mage, it's like a mech with a flamethrower, but you wouldn't really call that a fire mage. You'd call it a mech with a flamethrower. So, and it leans much more heavily into the sci-fi than into the fantasy. Which overall, I'd say this project is more sci-fi than fantasy. But there is still the fantasy elements, and I want to preserve those. But mana or mages are not going to be part of that. I'm not having that. It's just not. I don't like that idea. So we will not be having mages. Someone asked me a question. Lofi asked me a question in the Discord. I said, I want to talk about the debate I've been having with myself all day about whether or not I should have mages in Starburn, but I think I'll save it for tomorrow's stream. It's now tomorrow's stream. Lofi says it could be magic items instead of magic users or some cybernetic improvement to use magic. And that's ultimately what it kind of is. So when people quote unquote use magic, they more have items that let them use magic. But the thing is, these items are very commonplace. So we'll learn more about that in the mana video, which I will work on today and maybe release today, but no promises. Which by the way, I will. So I released the Shipmind video. That video, I did not expect to do well. It didn't do well. I mean, it's only been a day. We'll see, but it didn't do well. It was more just like a thing for subscribers to see. And I didn't expect it to make the front page of YouTube, you know? This mana video, I'm hoping, will do a little better. It's also probably not quite the level of production quality as the Elf video, but or at least not as YouTube friendly as the Elf video. It will be a little less clickbaity. If the Elf video wasn't super clickbaity, but you know what I mean. I won't be having that same red font on the cover. Well, I probably will actually, but I won't have like I redesigned them. They look dumb. Like right. So I wanted to talk about mages, but now I've talked about mages. What did I want to draw? I don't know. I don't know what I need to draw right now for this setting. I could design more ships. I've designed actually, let me open another file. I designed a ship for the call based on cathedrals. So you can see I have cathedrals up here and then also expanse ships. It doesn't look actually very much like an expanse ship, but maybe from the front. But I would say it looks a little more Warhammer-y, which I'm fine with. I think the Warhammer ships look cool. It is an expanse ship though, in the sense that it is so like it goes this. It is an expanse ship in the sense that it moves this way, and then the decks are stacked like this. They're stacked perpendicular, which is a little weird because the stained glass window on the church is facing forward. So in that sense, if you were on the ship, it would be above you, which I think is actually fine, personally. I think that's fine. what is also interesting, so a lot of people, I showed this to some IRL friends, some of who are in the Discord and who may see this video, I don't know. And they were like, this thing looks like piping. This thing here looks like piping. It's not, it's a statue, because the Call put statues on their ships. But it does look kind of like piping. But it's a statue of a Call. Call. What is the singular version of Call? I guess Call still. I don't know. I don't know the singular version of the names that I come up with. You expect me to know that? That's crazy. I am going to do a little bit of touching up on this because it looks a little ugly on the back. I think it could look better. Like that, for instance. Look at that. That has improved it massively. I actually don't like this because of how the thing is going to be. So I think I'll just carry this line all the way back. And then we can do that. Look at that. That's pretty nice. Yeah. The reason I did that, the reason I changed that is because you can see what that actually is it's already slanted. So I didn't want it to be slanted and slanted again because that would be weird. It would look weird. And I don't want it to look weird. Yeah. Wow, the Q&A, I mean, it's only been a half hour, so maybe people will show up, but the Q&A portion of that stream is looking pretty bleak. No one's asked any questions. It's fine. Anyway, wait, maybe YouTube comments have some interesting questions that I can draw from. I saw an interesting question on the ShipMind video, actually, which I will maybe talk about. Oh, wait, is that? Yes, that's the comment I was talking about. Let me go to YouTube Studio.
This thing.
Okay, YouTube Studio. Let's go to comments. Turn off I haven't responded. There we go. So on the addendum ShipMinds, David LZ830 said, "That's really creative. I wonder if they could be used for other things than just in ships, or if you could connect multiple elves into one source and they'll become sort of a hive mind." Yes, elves do go into other things besides ships. Specifically, their brains do. A lot of times elves will, because they're constantly dying, their brains will be cut out of their body and put in instead of AIs, because AIs are hard to make, and I'm thinking of putting in lore for why there aren't AIs, which will be really simple lore. It'll just be that someone made an AI, it went crazy, and they didn't like it, you know? So now there's just universal law, you can't make an AI. But yeah, I hadn't thought of the elf hive mind idea. That's actually very interesting and might be one thing I was wondering about is how the elves, like what their system of governance is. I was trying to figure that out. So potentially it could be some sort of an elven hive mind of really old elves. But we shall see. A lot of people connecting the elves to other races and other fantasy settings. How do I say this name? Kajnake5905. Kajnake? Kainaki? I'm not sure. If they're all clones, it kind of makes it so all the elves are the same character in different flavors, which could be interesting, but I probably wouldn't play it. I responded to this and said, that's what I'm trying to avoid by making the cloning system imperfect. So if you didn't get it from the video, the cloning system that makes elves is not perfect. If it was, they wouldn't need 10 bodies to make a single elf. They would need one elf to make a single elf. And they still need organic material, so they need maybe one body, but they would not need 10. Or they could just use like pigs or whatever, But the cloning system is imperfect. So they gain bits and pieces of the 10 victims in the process, diversifying both their bodies and minds. And after all, if they were an entirely homogeneous race, they wouldn't really be able to survive because they wouldn't have diverse skills or bodies or anything. Homogeneous races just doesn't work. So yeah, elves are all different, despite the cloning process. It's also worth noting that they're not all cloned from the same elf. They originally, let's say there were 100 elves. Each of those elves, there's a eugenics element involved, so maybe not all the 100 elves would have been cloned, but let's say like 25% of them. So that's 25 cloning lineages. Yeah. The other thing that wouldn't work about them being homogenous is they could, well, actually, does that work because they can't reproduce. So no, actually, never mind. Forget what I said. I was going to say that they couldn't, the genetic material would not be diverse enough to have like viable offspring, but they don't reproduce, so that's not a concern. But a reason why homogeneous races don't work, it just doesn't apply here. Let's see, more people saying they're kind of like other things. And yeah. Okay, so that's the comment section done. And feel free, if you're seeing this, feel free to leave a comment on any of my videos, and I will respond, unless you're just being a dick. But yeah, feel free to respond or anything, feel free to leave a comment or anything, and I will probably get back to you again. I won't if you're being a dick, but I like every comment I read. So if you see my like on the comment, that means I read it, and if after a couple minutes I haven't responded, then I'm probably not going to respond. But I usually like and respond at the same time. So that may change as I get more comments. By the way, I'm going to say this again in the Mana video, but I want to thank everyone for your outpouring of support. Did not expect the elf video to do that well. I expected it to get like a couple hundred views. It's well on its way to 1,000. So that's kind of crazy. I did not expect my first video to do that well. I expected like my third video to do that well. But it was my first, so I got a head start, I guess. And yeah, I just want to thank you. I hope we can continue this, and I wouldn't consider the elf video like, I wouldn't say that it like blew up. But I think it didn't go viral or anything. But as much as it was going to blow up, I think it did blow up. Right? Like, there's only so far it can go when I have no subscribers and I'm posting. World building is kind of niche. It's like niche enough that you can you can make content of it. You don't have to compete with big names. But there are still big names like Monster Garden or Rit Finch or whatever. Or like Subjectively. Who is somewhat of world building. But yeah, anyway, kind of crazy that this all happened. Anyway, we should probably get to drawing. Once again, though, I don't actually know what I want to draw. I could draw a reactor, but that's not very interesting. I could draw a reactor, I guess. That's I mean, if anyone's watching, I don't think anyone is, but if anyone's watching, leave your. You know what? I'm sure there's like a random sci-fi word generator. We could use that. Random sci-fi generator? Just generator? Sci-fi random generator. Cyberpunk jobs. Oh wait, this is not what I want. Sci-fi. Game title generator. Okay, let me just look up sci-fi word generator. Sci-fi word generator. Technobabble generator. Not really what I want, but random sci-fi noun, that's more what I want. All right, let's go with like 3 of them. Let's go with 5. 5 random words. We've got detonator, magnet. Let me just take a screenshot and put it in. Detonator, cybergement? Cyber, what the fuck? I need to look up this word. Cybergement. Huh. Meaning. That just gives me the meaning of cyborg. Cybersecurity. No, okay, so I'm gonna re-roll this because I don't know what that word means. Matrix multi. Oh wait, is it? Oh, it's spitting out technobabble, isn't it? I think it's spitting out technobabble that doesn't actually have a name, a word, a meaning. Sorry. Okay, let's go with 3 so that there's unique. What does that mean? Fragmenticule echo radiation. Fragmenticule. Okay, I actually like these ones. Fragmenticule echo radiation. Yeah, I reserve the right to where'd it go? Okay, yeah, fragmenticule echo radiation. So fragmenticule, obviously a made-up word. Unless it's not. Let me actually make sure that is a made-up word. Fragmenticule. I think that's a made-up word. Yes, that is a made-up word. Okay. Fragmenticule echo radiation. Echo radiation. So what jumped out to me with an echo, you have like things going out and then they come back. So maybe that's what the radiation is. Maybe something radiates out and then comes back. I don't know. Oof. Not what I want to do. Fragmenticule. It sounds like fragment and molecule, right? So maybe a very small fragment. Maybe that's what it means. So this is just kryptonite. A very small fragment that emits a lot of radiation and is echoey. I don't know. It sounds like kryptonite to me. Okay, so maybe we have. You know what this could be? This could be a crisis card. So for the full game, actually no, this will be in the not in the full game. In the what am I even saying? Anyway, in the game, there's going to be the faction turn, the faction side game. Faction side game. And in that game, there's going to be crisis cards. And at the end of at the beginning of every round, rather. Actually, maybe it'll be at the end of every round. I haven't fully worked out the mechanics. But once every round, and additionally, if you like take too many resources or I don't know, go. One thing I'm thinking is like if you go bankrupt in a resource, you pull a faction card. Or, sorry, a crisis card. And a crisis card can be all sorts of things from like space bugs are invading to like just an asteroid hits someplace. And because of this, sorry, what I'm thinking is maybe we introduce for fragmenticule echo radiation. Maybe, I'm tired. Maybe we have some sort of a, what if we have like an asteroid, right? Let's draw an asteroid. This is a bad drawing of an asteroid. I need it to look good. My perfectionist mind. I'm only a perfectionist sometimes, but right now I'm a perfectionist. That's better. It's not good, but it's better. Oh wait, what am I even doing? This is not how you draw rocks. What am I doing? My informal training. By the way, fun fact, I have not received formal training on how to do art. I basically just taught myself. And my friends taught me stuff, and yeah, I didn't go to art school or anything. I'm not going to art school, I'm going to film school. So it is an art school, but I'm like not digital art school, you know? Not physical art school, rather. Well, it is, anyway, you get what I'm saying. Point is, I did not receive like training for this, so if you think my art looks bad, cut me some slack. But all the grades were self-taught. Anyway, so we have a poorly, very chunky looking asteroid. It's very, that looks better actually, removing that line. Anyway, so this impacts somewhere. Let's draw some cool re-entry flames. That looks nice. Okay, anyway. This impacts somewhere, and it spreads radiation. And this radiation is like some sort of a sickness, which I guess radiation is already like that, but it can spread like a sickness. So it's a plague. And when it does so, yeah, people get sick with it, and it's kind of a color out of space thing, I guess. Maybe they become part of it or something. I don't know. Let's look a little better. Okay, so that's fragmenticule echo radiation. Let's add some fragmenticules onto here. Yeah, that's pretty good. Fragmenticule echo radiation. So then you get like zombies. We could call it space zombies. That's what we call it, space zombies. That's supposed to be an E, but it did not come out like an E. There we go. So you get people who are like radiation sick. And then they exude radiation too, which is not normally how radiation sickness works, but it will be for fragmenticule for space zombies. I don't need to call it fragmenticule echo radiation anymore. Space zombies. This is just a very quick sketch. You can tell because the hands suck. No, we're just not gonna give him the body. We're just gonna do him like this. Space zombies. Okay, cool. I think that accomplishes that. I don't want to shade this because there's nothing going on here. I don't want to color it in. Okay, let's randomize 3 more words. Graviton, turbulence, void. Graviton, turbulence, void. Now, the first thing that came to my mind was a magnetar, the type of star, a magnetar. Is that what they're called, magnetars? Let me make sure. Magnetar, star. Yes, magnetar, star. They're basically just stars with a huge magnetic field. And they just tear things apart because they're just giant magnets. And magnets attract things, except they attract things. They're like sort of like a black hole, but not. In any case, are they a stellar remnant? I don't actually remember if they're a stellar remnant. They might be. Doesn't matter. Point is, that's the first thing that came to mind. And I would love to design something like that. However, for Starburn, we're mainly focusing on the Asclepius system for right now. The Asclepius system is not a magnetar system. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to do a magnetar. I want to mainly draw things that will show up in the Asclepius system. So we're going to randomize again. Mine frequency grinder. Oh, I like this. I like this. Maybe this is how they get the mana. Mine frequency grinder. I'm just going to write these down instead of screenshotting them. Mine frequency grinder. Where's my pen? Oh, there it is. Mine frequency grinder. Okay. So what came to mind immediately is like some sort of a system that uses sound to dissolve rock, basically. And what this would do is it would mean that if you're looking for, so once you get a source of mana, you can just tap it like you would an oil well. And you can have mana going up through a pipe. But until that point, if you dissolve rock, if you're drilling through and you just dissolve rock, that actually doesn't work, does it? Because I don't see what advantage this would have over just a regular drill, right? What I was thinking is, so if it was a solid thing, and then that didn't get dissolved, if it was like some super hard material that couldn't be dissolved, and so you dissolve the rock around it, and then it's totally fine, that would work. However, it's a liquid at room temperature. Well, I guess it could be frozen, but no, it wouldn't be. Because the heat increases underground. Because of the pressure. Right? That's how that works. Is that how that works? I think that's how that works. Anyway. Mine frequency grinder. I don't actually like this one. Well, maybe I do. I can make it work. Mine frequency grinder. Maybe we have some sort of a mining skiff. Like a small ship. What's cool about a skiff, a small ship that you could carry in another ship, is that I don't actually have to make them expanse style. Because they're so small that they wouldn't have a big drive cone. They would just have little thrust things like this. I don't know what to call it. Anyway. Point is, if we did this, so maybe what we do is have a central skiff no, wait, that doesn't work. No, okay. So, okay. So here's the cockpit. And it sticks out from the skiff. And we have, whoop, that doesn't line up. There we go. Here's the cockpit. It's actually not central. I almost said the central cockpit. It's not central. It's going to be off to the side a little bit. Because if we just do a little bit here, and then we can see over here is going to be the main body. Damn, I should have eaten lunch. I didn't eat lunch today. And then we can draw like this. And then we have some little arms that can take samples. And then, actually what I might do, I'm gonna try and connect that with a little, like an accordion type thing, so it looks like this. So that way the skiff can kind of stretch out or compress in when it needs to. And then what we can put here is like some sort of a laser, or maybe a detonation device. Maybe they use bombs. Maybe it's both. Maybe we have some sort of a drill up here. Actually, I want to do like a grinder drill. Although it occurs to me that I don't really know how to draw those. But one of these things, like the ones they have in Subnautica. There we go. And then we have that. It'll be on some sort of arm, basically. But I can't draw the arm because of the perspective. Oh no. So then we have in the middle here, this will be, yeah, so this will be like a torpedo bay basically, and you can shoot explosives there. And then in the middle here will be a laser. Yeah, so that's the mining ship. It's a good concept. I feel like I need it's a good concept. We'll come back to it. That's what I'm gonna say. I might end the stream. Maybe. Because I'm actually very hungry. I need to get something to eat. Let me just save this as random words, and then we'll save call ship. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end stream probably. I know you're supposed to stream for like 2 or 3 hours, but, well, actually I can't go get lunch, can I? Because the dining hall's closed. Maybe I should keep streaming. Okay, I'm gonna call a quick break, I think. Because I do want to keep streaming, but I also want to take a break. And I think what I'll do is I think I'll take a break and then we can come back to this in a couple minutes. How does that sound? So I will create a really scuffed break screen. Oh, what just happened? Okay, I am going to go to the bathroom and get some food, and I'll be back. Let me turn off my mic. Hello, I am back. Okay. So, during that time I didn't get any flashes of inspiration, so I'm still, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Probably stream for another 15 minutes or so and then I'll head out. Just look up sci-fi inspiration. Okay, Pinterest has some ideas. We can go on Pinterest. Pinterest, where no art gets credited. Looking through Pinterest, I'm not seeing anything that really jumps out to me. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not seeing anything. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, well, I might just end stream. Well, thank you oh, someone has joined. Hello, Infinite to you. I was just about to end stream, but guess not. You got any ideas of what I could draw? I will take any ideas that I can get. What does this say? A prosthetic arm. Wait. There's something more though. I can't quite see. What does it say? A man with a prosthetic arm. Okay. That's an interesting idea. All right. We will create a man with a prosthetic arm. All right. Let's give him glasses. Feel like, just feel like he's got glasses. Glasses. You know, glasses are usually, they usually go all the way out to the side of the head. So it probably looks more like this. There we go. And then we'll give him some hair. Nice comb over. Put sort of a sci-fi comb over. Do, 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 do. Let's give him a prosthetic leg as well. So we'll have his pants cuffed like this, and then we'll give him a prosthetic limb. I know I'm drawing the leg first. I know you said it was a prosthetic arm, but I'm drawing the leg first. I will do the arm too. Don't you worry. Kind of looks like a high heel. Give him a nice t-shirt. And then what I was thinking is the prosthetic arm could be on the opposite side from prosthetic leg. So it'll look something like this. I don't even know what this pose is. It's ridiculous, but oh well. Also, his chest is very wide. This is not my best work. All right, there's a man with a prosthetic arm and leg. And with that, I think I will end stream. What does it say? What did you say? Sorry, I have to hit that nene. Yep. Is he hitting that nene? What does a nene look like? Wait, why am I forgetting what a nene looks like? Look up nene and go to images. He's not hitting the nene. Yeah, that's what I remember the nene looking like. I don't know if I can make him hit the nene. That would require doing this whole thing over again. No, I think I'm gonna just end it here. But thanks for everyone who came. Oh. Yeah, it is a dance. Yeah, I know that. Yeah. No, I've heard the song, but thank you. I'm probably gonna end stream because it is getting late and I only have so much time here. So thanks everyone for coming, and hopefully you enjoy. If you're watching on YouTube, we'll see you in the next video, I guess. All right, bye.